Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Laddering with Archa. What we're gonna do today is build an Ichor deck. A champion you may or may not be familiar with. What I'm gonna do is explain the abilities that he has, and I'm gonna show you what cards I want to add to build this deck. And in the last part of the video we're gonna test the deck out. I haven't tried it out yet. I've not many experience with Ichor. I've only encountered him in Guild Wars, and not by playing it, but only by being, defended by it. My apologies. I'm not a native English speaker, so you will probably hear lots of ums or weird words. Me trying to find the right word to explain what is going on, but I'll do my best not to do that and be as clear as possible. Right. So here we go. The abilities for Ichor. He has 3 abilities like any other champion, and these are actually quite fun. The first ability is called Dredge. It draws a card, and then your hero mills 2. Why is this fun? It's basically interesting because you draw cards. And drawing cards is a very important thing in this game. Not only do you have more chance of getting the card that you actually need for the situation, you also gain a mana indirectly by it. Because if you don't use the card, you can discard it and gain that mana. So it's indirectly a mana generator. Obviously, you don't want to draw cards to just discard them. You want to actually draw cards that you need and use them. Still, you get the point. The hero also mills 2. This may seem like a bad idea because you're actually throwing your cards away, and then you might not hit the card that you need. But what we're gonna do with Ichor is build the deck around retrieving those cards from the discard pile, or using the discard pile to our advantage. You'll see that when we have the deck finished. The second ability, Wrath of the Dead. Your hero mills 1. Target creature loses health equal to the mana cost of the milled card. This is just an amazing ability. It basically says deal tons of damage to a creature if you draw the right card. So what we need to do is stack the card draw in our advantage. So basically have many high mana cards in our deck, and therefore be able to remove the opponent creature when we need to. And the last ability, Raise Minion. Put a top creature with mana cost of 7 or less from target hero's discard pile into play in an empty ally slot. It's clear as day. It's a simple. You click on the champion where you want to get the card from, and it then puts the top creature card into play if it's 7 mana or below. Obviously this is amazing. You don't have to pay mana to get a very high mana creature on the field. Obviously we're going to build our deck around high mana creatures and cards, so you almost always are going to hit the right card and be as mana efficient as possible. So like I said already, we're going to use high mana creatures. Let's start off with the legendaries. I want Tror, I want Dirge, I want Archmage. 3 amazing cards. I'm not going to explain every card that we're going to put in here because that would make a very long video. Look them up and see what they do. Well, let's find some more high mana creatures. A big rare 5 to 6 mana. Fury Stokers. You always want to have Fury Stokers for removal of opponent creatures. Skull Crushers to keep the charges of the opponent as minimum as possible. What else is interesting? We could use a Goblin Hawk. This is a very interesting card for Ichor. Basically, if you have 5 or more cards to your discard pile, remove the top 5 and then resurrect this creature. We could do this, but I want to go a different route. I'll show you which one in a second. Mind Shocker. A haste creature that just does a lot of damage, so let's put that one in. Cup 3 or something, that would be fine. Bruiser from Beyond, couple, and then Realm Crushes. Realm Crushes are not going to be able to be resurrected by the ulti, but it's it's basically you clear the board of the opponent's creatures, also your own, but therefore it grows, it becomes a strong creature, and you have an escape when something goes wrong. So we want to have these in. What else do we want? We want to have the rod feeders. That's the reason why I'm currently wanna play Ichor. These are currently 50 gems in the store, and only needed 2 more. So now I have a complete set, and I really want to test them out. What the rod feeder does is, when it comes into play, you mill 4 cards, and if you have 10 creatures or more, it becomes a 5/5 creature for 2 mana, with 4 reassemble. So even when it dies, it still leaves a 4/4 creature. Definitely worth it, and I want to test it out and see if it's gonna work. What else do we need? We need some removal. Let's clear the search. Woeful Miseries. Obviously we need rejuves. Everybody loves rejuves. Like I said, removals. Basically I always stack my deck with Echo Blast. I don't think I have the room for this many spells, because I want to have as many creatures as possible to feed my rod feeders. So I'm just gonna keep it to 2 this time, and hopefully not gonna run into many gear decks. Dreadful Returns, there you go. As many Dreadful Returns as possible. What the card does is it returns the top creature card from your discard pile to target corpse. Obviously our creatures are gonna die, so when it dies it leaves a corpse, and then for only 3 mana I might be able to resurrect a possibly 8 mana creature. Worth it, needed as many as possible. For more removal of strong opponent creatures, we got the Final Verdict. Let's add those. And then let's see, how many creatures do we have now, or basically how many spells do we have? 6, 8, 14 spells. I got 4 more to add into the deck. Let's add Scrollmakers. A couple just to draw out the rejuves to get the charges going. And I wonder if it would be a good idea, it's an epic card, for charges to add a couple of rapid prototypes. Does this look good? Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Now we have to test it out and see how it goes. Wish me luck.